this is me, here's my, Grinch, tier list. We're gonna put the original with Max in B tier, because, you can't go wrong with the original Jim Carrey Grinch. He's an icon of movies. He's done a lot of good things in life. I heard he was chopping up baby seals and then feeding them to his, pet dog. Joke's not funny. Can you cut this one, actually? Either way, I think that's a good baseline for our tier list. I think we're gonna judge it on a scale of improvement over the original or a downgrade. But starting off, we have Malnourished Grinch. This is from the hunger strike the Grinch did in real life when he heard that they weren't doing any more Dr. Seuss live action movies. The Grinch came out of his Grinch cave and said, I'm going to start a hunger strike. And he didn't eat for 12 days and 12 nights. He didn't drink any water. He was fasting, and he almost died because someone started playing his rib cage like a xylophone, and it caused him severe internal damage. But that was a whole fiasco. Everyone's got it settled by now, so there's no need to drudge up the past. On that note, I do think his efforts were futile and for a bad cause, because those movies were bad, actually. So we're gonna keep him in B tier. LGBT gay as fuck Grinch. This one is a bit of a controversial take, but the LGBT Grinch is not a genuine effort towards LGBT rights. This was a cover-up after the Grinch said some homophobic slur during a news broadcast on the Ellen show. And it caused such an uproar in the news that he had to come out and support gay people. I can see through. During Pride Month, he was even more hateful. It's a very sad display, and because of this, I'm gonna have to put him in D tier. We can't go extreme now. We'll put him in C tier for now. We'll see how it goes later. Lennon Grinch. This was after the Grinch got in a bender. He was hanging out with Yoko Ono. He was getting kind of crunk. Cameraman ran up to him and took this awkward picture, but he's not the kind of guy to let it deter him. And this was after he released his hit single The Grinch in Wonderland, where he sings about how the Grinch has a hardened life, and it was a self-fulfilling prophecy because he was shortly shot and killed. It's so sad. Rest in peace, the Grinch. 1996 to 1997. So sad. In honor of the Grinch, we'll put Lennon Grinch in A tier. So Dog Grinch was a bit of a controversial take. So it was a bit of an epic fail. Honestly, I think it was a bit of a blunder. I think it's famously hated amongst movie critics. It's famously hated amongst the Grinch fandom. And honestly, I'm not a fan either. But I do think his spider legs are a neat touch, so I'll keep him in B tier. Grinch Pog. We're gonna put it in D tier. So here's the Pinch. This is from when Grinch went into his purple phase, and he named himself the Pinch instead because he's purple. And I think it was a brave decision on his part. I think he did a great job holding it off. I think it was an amazing event to behold, a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to meet the Pinch. I think it was a well-deserved break for the Grinch. He learned not to rest on his laurels because he never did it again, which I kind of respect in an autistic sense. Pinch, you go in S tier. Now, Chungus Grinch, honestly, I don't understand what he was doing. This was before the Malnourished Grinch in the Grinch canonical timeline. He got really obese, and it wasn't funny. He wasn't making fat jokes or anything. He was just fat. It was just a normal thing, but he was very clearly unhealthy. It was honestly absurd, and I'm happy that his family helped him out to get past that point in his life, because it really was an uncontrollable urge, and I'm just happy that I'm happy that he's better. I'm happy that he's healthier. I'm happy that this phase of his life is behind him. So, to honorate that, I'll put that in C tier, as it is an awful period in his life. It's not in D tier because he's doing better. So, Sonic Grinch, this was the famed Sonic Grinch crossover. The fans have been asking it for years, and when it finally happened, it was the worst Grinch movie ever made, but it was the best Sonic game ever made. So, both fandoms were kind of split on it. The Grinch fandom and the Sonic fandom were kind of at war with each other over the Sonic Grinch, but after the Sonic Grinch actor himself came out and said something about it, they kind of calmed down about the whole thing, and it's been kind of cool ever since. They've made a few Sonic Grinch sequels, but they were never that good. Everyone just accepts that the original is like a cult classic. critically acclaimed, highest-selling movie of all time. Grinch, Sonic, and A tier, next to Lennon. Big head, scary, blow-up Grinch. No, big head, scary, blow-up Grinch. Some people got weirded out by the big head, scary, glowy Grinch, or whatever the fuck it's called. And, you go in D tier for scaring me. Okay, the original smiley face Grinch, the original evil smile Grinch, smile face Grinch. It's the complete original. Dr. Seuss himself was like, oh, this will be a funny face. And you know what? That's a pretty funny face. I think it's very expressive. I think the lines and the contours are very detailed. We'll put smiley face epic Dr. Seuss Grinch up here because it's very cool. Now, the Baby Grinch. The Baby Grinch, personally, not a fan of the Baby Grinch. Everyone loves the Baby Grinch. It's just me that I don't really care that much. I respected the Baby Grinch, but it's not something I was really into too much. Even after all that, this is my personal opinion. I can't help but think that my respect towards it goes above my personal disdain for it. So we're gonna put Baby Grinch in A tier, because I think it just deserves to be here. Now, the Cat Dog Grinch, or the Grinch, very confusing name. People weren't too much of a fan. It was hard to advertise. Marketers hated it. But, honestly, the surreal aspects of the Grinch, I was really into. I respected the direction they went with the show, the many comic spin-offs. I think they lived Grinch out to its fullest, and they retired the character. Sadly, last year, you get to keep your place in BT. Now, here's Killer Grinch. The Killer Grinch. Killer Grinch is from the 2005 edgy reboot. That was an R-rated movie. It was a critical flop, but it's a cult classic amongst hardcore Grinch fans. It's kind of a laughingstock, but people can see the real artistic value in it. And I think if they remade the Killer Grinch movie today, people would be a lot more accepting to the idea. I think people would love the Killer Grinch and what he represents in the media. I think the message was underlooked, and I think it's worth another shot, honestly. For my deep respect to the Killer Grinch, he gets to go in ST. This is the Fozzie Bear Grinch. He's the Grinch, but he's Fozzie Bear from the Muppets. And honestly, I never watched too much of the Muppets. I'm not a Muppet gamer. Who cares? So, you go in D. Now, the Flubber Grinch was made after a freak accident in a Flubber lab. The Grinch just happened to wander on in there, and nothing could have been done about it. It was a freak accident, but the Flubber Grinch, he made the best of his life and then died, sadly, during the Ebola outbreaks of 2005. In memorial of the Flubber Grinch, we're going to keep him in A tier. Honestly, he deserves it after the trials and tribulations he's gone through. Illuminations Grinch. I don't even care enough to make a joke about it. When the Guac is extra Grinch. Now, here is the real art. When the Guac is extra. This Grinch, it speaks to us all, honestly, because we've all been in those situations when the Guac is extra. So we also put this one in D tier. Keyblade Warrior Grinch. Now, this was when the Grinch started going to Hot Topic around the mid-2000s. He started dyeing his hair blue. He started growing it out. He bought a Keyblade, and he started defeating the Heartless. And he put an extra X in his name, and no one knew how to pronounce it for a while, so people just called him the Keyblade Master. Even though this era of the Grinch has its fans, I can't personally say I'm too much of a fan. I think when he actually killed a man in the streets of Ohio for no reason, I think that was a little too harsh, but I can respect where he was coming from, and I think his OC would lose to mine, so we're gonna put him in A tier. Muppet Grinch. The Muppet Grinch, I am a fan of Muppet Grinch compared to Fozzie Bear Grinch. I know it's a bit contradictory, but it's just how I've always been in my life. I've always been a Muppet Grinch fan instead of a Fozzie Bear Grinch fan. It's just how I've been raised. I can't really help that. But, to be fair, I'm going to put you in C, because I just remembered all those awful things you did. Now, the Grinch, this is when he fell into the famous Hall of Mirrors, his iconic Hall of Mirrors, and he mirrored himself vertically down the middle, and it was a big event. Disney tried to cash in on it. They made Mickey, him and no one really cared. So everyone else trying to cash in on the phenomenon just kind of made Grinch look worse by comparison. So I guess we just have to keep it down here. As sad as innovative as it was, I'm just kind of tired of seeing it. I'm sorry, Grinch. Now, Drip Grinch. The Drip Grinch, I think, was a masterfully done, tasteful take on the drip phenomenon. He spoke about it with clairvoyance and class, did his best to talk to the children of our generation and speak to their level and not look down on them. I think that's an important thing to do as a role model to so many. Snorty was just trying to take a picture of their drip shoes, their iconic drip shoes, and the Grinch said, "What the fuck are you doing? Those are my drip shoes," and then just kicked her out of the fucking way. It was very rude, and I didn't like seeing it. Despite of that, I'm going to keep Drip Grinch in S tier because of what he's done for the community. Stewie Griffin Grinch. What is there to say about Stewie Griffin Grinch? We all know him. We all love him. It's Stewie Griffin Grinch, A tier with the other amazing Grinches. How could we have forgotten about No Max Grinch? This is the original Grinch with No Max. No Max the dog. The dog is not here. In fact, it's so influential that none of these other fuckers have the dog. See, come on. It's just you. It's just you. This is the real baseline. This is the real baseline, so I think we gotta start it here. In fact, I think No Max Grinch takes over Max Grinch's spot on the tier list because of just how influential he is. You know, things change, things innovate, and sadly, Max Grinch just isn't needed anymore. Now, funny Bayonetta leg Grinch. Now, this is the funny Bayonetta leg meme, and the Grinch thought it would be really funny to do it as well. And honestly, I don't think he pulls it off. I don't think he pulled off the Bayonetta legs meme very well. And I think he just kind of made a fool out of himself, and during a really harsh time in the Bayonetta community when Jean accidentally ran over the vice president, kind of poorly timed, and of course, they couldn't have predicted that would happen. They couldn't have predicted these heinous atrocities would happen. But at the same time, you could have just waited a little bit. It wasn't that funny to begin with. Come on, dude. Bayonetta legs and meme Grinch, you go down to D tier. Shame on you. Funko Pop Grinch. Now this is Funko Pop Grinch. Putting you in D tier. Small head Grinch. This is small head Grinch. This Grinch has a really small head. It was kind of made to reply to big head blow up Grinch right here. Kids were a lot more willing to accept small head Grinch than this one. Kind of made it less scary to see. I think we already kind of imagined the Grinch having a small ass head, you know, like a little fucking walnut. So, and I think it was the right move by the Grinch to do. We'll keep you in B tier. The Joyous Grin. This is the last event in the Grinch canonical timeline. They are very happy. They are very supportive. They want the best for you and for me, for everyone. They fulfilled everything they wanted in life, and now they know how to use the power they've gained to help other people in the world. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And I just respect them so much, and I just love the Joyous Grin so much. They're such a good person. When they helped build that hospital in Africa by themselves, they were like, "Don't worry about me. I'm the Joyous Grin. I'll help out." It was awe-inspiring, honestly. Joyous Grin, you go in S tier. No, fuck you. No. Because of that, you get demoted. Fuck you, Dr. Seuss. You go to Joyous Grin deserves to be an S tier. The Mike Wazowski Grinch. This is the Grinch after the famous crossover with Monsters Incorporated, where he played the role as Mike Wazowski. He chopped off his torso for the role, and it was a very awe-inspiring moment. He was really committed to the bit. He sadly couldn't amputate his other eye. He needed both of those eyes, which kind of ruined the effect, in my opinion. It was kind of made it not worth it at all, but it was a funny enough bit. I think he played the part well enough. He could have done way better if he got the other eye out, but whatever, Grinch, whatever, you know best. Whatever, fuck you. Just go and C tier already. I'm sick of looking at you, Mike Wazowski Grinch. You're a fail. Here's funny IDK Grinch. This is the funny IDK Grinch. This is when Illuminations gave up, and where I also gave up on this joke, and the video is over.